Yo, what's going on, y'all? This is Marcus Rosa, a.k.a. Mazuma TV. Back at y'all with some more boxing talk, man. I hope everybody's having a blessed, beautiful, positive, productive day. I'm just chilling, enjoying this beautiful day off. Happy MLK Day to all my people that celebrated, you feel what I'm saying? On the road to 4K. We well into the 3,300 mark, about to hit that 3,400 mark in due time. Shout out to the nation and the mob for making this possible. All right, y'all, this is a topic that I wanted to discuss because I haven't really made no videos about it, or at least made that many of them lately, promoting one of the biggest fights that's coming up at the end of January. January 31st is going down, and, some honorable mentions for that date. Of course, Sandor versus, Barao and things of that nature. But I wanted to zoom in on the fight that's going to be going on, not in Puerto Rico, but at Madison Square Garden. It's going down. We have Teofimo Lopez, the takeover, going up against Shakur Stevenson. And I had a lot of people ask me exactly what my thoughts are on this whole situation. And I've been telling you guys from the very beginning that I feel like Shakur Stevenson, even though Teofimo Lopez is tricky, he's athletic, he rises to the occasion in a lot of his big fights, I feel like Shakur Stevenson has all the tools necessary to be Teofimo Lopez's kryptonite. You know what I'm saying? January 31st. You feel what I mean? That's just what I personally believe. But I want to touch a whole different angle on this situation, man. You know what I mean? But if y'all could please hit the like button when y'all come in, that'd be very much appreciated. Let's get the algorithm on the up so the people know who Mazuma TV is. You feel what I'm saying? So let's get into this talk, man. And I'm not going to say that Shakur Stevenson knocks Teofimo Lopez out cold. But, what I am saying is that Shakur Stevenson could really mentally break Teofimo Lopez and even make him quit in the ring. You see what I'm saying? I think it's time that we had this real boxing conversation. You know what I mean? Not the fanboy talk, not highlight reel type talking. Let's give a real fight breakdown, man. That's what we do over here, because Shakur Stevenson and Teofimo Lopez, if they ever shared the ring, this isn't just skill versus skill. This really could be looked at as like discipline versus emotion. You know what I mean? I'm going to keep it real with y'all too, man. I was tapping in with one of the OGs of the boxing community, 78 Sports TV, and on one of his lives, he brought up the idea that Shakur could very well mentally break Teofimo Lopez in the ring. You know what I mean? And the more that I sat around, thought about it, you know what I mean? The more film, like I replayed in my head, and even went to go watch it on the big screen right here, he might actually be on to something. You see what I'm saying? So let's just start here. Let's start right here. Let's get it going right here. Teofimo Lopez is extremely talented, like I stated. Explosive, fast, athletic, dangerous, but he also fights off of emotion. We've seen it on multiple occasions, man. When things go his way, he looks elite. He looks unstoppable. When they don't, he starts forcing shots, getting frustrated, abandoning the game plan. We literally seen the mental side play out publicly during controversial fights like Sandor and Martin. You know what I mean? You can hear him question himself, saying shit out loud like, do I still got it, man? You see what I'm saying? Like right after the fight saying that, and then having another controversial fight against Jamaine Ortiz when he broke down emotionally in the ring after they named him the winner of the fight. You know what I'm saying? And, to me, that's not necessarily weakness, but that's honesty. You know what I mean? It shows how much the mental side impacts him under pressure. Teofimo Lopez has openly spoken in the past about struggling with mental health issues, so it's fair to say he may be more mentally fragile than the average fighter at an elite level in boxing. Meaning, when things start going wrong, there's a real possibility that he may mentally check out of the fight. And respectfully, you know what I mean, when we're looking at Sandor, Martin, when we're looking at Jamaine Ortiz, very talented guys, but they don't operate on the level of a Shakur Stevenson, in my opinion. So Teofimo Lopez struggled mentally and stylistically at that level. Imagine what happens when the difficulty goes up several notches. You feel what I'm saying? Teofimo Lopez already struggles with guys who are mobile, who are disciplined boxers, and this will be the most elite version of that style that he has seen to date. You see what I mean? He gets frustrated when he has to be the one hunting the fighter. You know what I mean? When he has to lead and cut off the ring, those are things that Teofimo Lopez doesn't like. He prefers when opponents are in front of him so he can showcase like his flashy counter punching and his overall athletic ability just being a showman in there. You see what I mean? But the problem is cutting off the ring has never been his strong suit. And Shakur Stevenson is absolutely smart enough to recognize that as a fighter, even sparring him in the past, and lean fully into a stick and move, control the distance, frustrate you all night approach, a.k.a. the Shakur Stevenson special. You see what I mean? Now, look at Shakur Stevenson. That man is, regardless of how you feel about him, he's a surgeon. He's disciplined. He's patient. He's in control throughout his fights. Someone who will take away your best weapon round by round and not give you anything in return. And he doesn't even need to hurt Teofimo Lopez early on in the fight for this to be dangerous. You see what I'm saying? The real danger shows up around like rounds 6, 7, 8, when Teofimo Lopez realizes that he's down on the cards, he can't land clean on Shakur, and he getting touched every time he takes a risk, like he did in the Sandor Martin fight, getting knocked down multiple times. That's how fighters quit, not from getting knocked out, but from getting broken down mentally, missing shots, getting countered, hearing your corner get desperate like Teo Sr., he panics under pressure as well, knowing you need a knockout but can't even touch the guy clean. And Shakur is one of the best in boxing today at making elite fighters, or at least championship fighters, look regular. Look at what he did to Jamel Herring. He whooped his ass. Look what he did to Valdez. Fried him. Look what he did to De Los Santos. De Los Santos couldn't find him. Different styles, for sure. Same outcome, and it's the frustration. Teo relies on explosive moments, big right hands, big bursts, but Shakur controls distance. The lead hand, timing, and foot placement will just neutralize the explosiveness that Teofimo Lopez has, because you can't explode on someone that you can't reach. And the more Teofimo Lopez misses, the more he loads up. And the more he loads up, the more predictable he gets. He telegraphs his power shots, and that's when Shakur starts touching him with the jab, the left hand. You know what I mean? He steps out. He makes Teo reset. He'll just repeat. No drama. Just will be in complete control the whole time. People don't like hearing this, but against a fighter like Shakur, who gives you no type of rhythm to work off of, no momentum whatsoever, no confidence, and that mental pressure builds every single round until the corner starts thinking about saving their fighter. You know what I'm saying? And TLC here may very possibly do that. A fighter starts thinking, I can't win this fight. And that's how you get a late round stoppage or a towel coming in. Does Shakur stop Teofimo every single time in the ring? I don't think so. But can he outthink him, out-discipline him, and mentally drain him to the point of breaking him? Absolutely. Just look at the previous history. And that's not hate. That's just me speaking, with boxing IQ. Power can win rounds, but discipline really breaks fighters at the end of the day. And I don't think there's any comparison when you're talking about the discipline Shakur Stevenson has in comparison to the discipline that Teofimo Lopez has. You see what I'm saying? So shout out to 78 Sports TV for, bringing up that idea. You know what I mean? I thought about it previously, but I never really got to sit, let that shit marinate, and really come to a conclusion, man. So, for my guys who are heavy with the betting and stuff like that, man, you already know what type time Shakur Stevenson's on. He already told y'all that he's not going to give y'all the same performance that he gave y'all against William Cepeda, where he's going to sit there in the pocket and bang with him. He understands that may benefit somebody like Teofimo Lopez stylistically, and that's not what he's in the game to do. He's told y'all on multiple occasions he's not really here to, entertain boxing fans because they don't give a fuck about him if something were to happen to him. So he's going to do what he does best, and that's hit and not get hit. Can Teofimo Lopez keep up with that when he struggled with lower level guys in the past who have taken that same approach? We'll see. You see what I'm saying? But until then, I'll be back at y'all with another live tonight, 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, to continue cooking up on what's going on in the boxing world, man. Until then, I hope you guys have a blessed, beautiful one. I'm up out of here, man. Peace.